I guess we're good to go. Huh. Well, hello everybody. Testing out my very first time streaming. Guess I just shrink that. Okay. Voting in, sorry about that. But yeah, good evening everybody. It's 8:25 over where I'm at. First time streaming. I'm just gonna play like normal. See what kind of orders I got going on right now. I don't think I've made moonlit soap yet. Fill those real quick. Let me fill some requests first, and then I'll take you guys on a tour real quick. Save real quick. Not really all over the place, but vitality. Rubies. Some soap. Okay. So, currently running through some, I think it's Mercury? Yeah, Mercury experience. That's why my upgrades are popping off. But, I personally have watched quite a few people play this game, and I really liked their multi-shelf item setup. So my bottom floor is obviously my entire store. I have 3 shelves per item, and I am currently, I just broke into tier 9, right? But I've got just about everything on sale up until tier 9. I'll show you guys everything up top. I just unlocked this so I can see the actual requirements for the blender. Excuse me. Got fairy dust kind of not set up yet, but en route so I can make moon tiers. This you can see my incomes and my sales. Like I said, I've got just about everything on sale, along with contracts as well. That's my usual income. So just about everything, all my contracts, all these are maxed out, I believe. I gotta double check this one, but I'm pretty sure this one is also. I believe everything is maxed out except for these bad boys. So, looks like a good point. But yeah, everything's got 3 shelves. Got my gems. Some more here. Oh, drop to my... Oh, did those drop out? That sucks. And all my relics, potions. This is my money setup. Like I said, I'll take you guys on that tour in a second. Did that really just drop all those that I was working on? Crazy. Yeah, no, I jumped the gun on the soap. But it's okay. Tons of minutes. Yeah, and I set up a Mac, you know, the storage box for everything. Just, it's definitely overkill. Believe me, I know. But I've got everything kind of staged and set up in such a way that it doesn't really bother too much. Diamonds, malachite. Alright, so I got all those. Yeah. I will say, oh, this is also where I store like what doesn't go on a shelf, but this isn't in the right spot. I realized that the other day, but it's okay. Again, like I was saying, you know, first time streaming, been thinking about it for a while. Said, you know, why not? What the heck? Oh, just kidding. Rivets, I guess. Maybe this will help clear up my ridiculous amount of requests. And yeah, ultimately the way, you know, where I'm sitting, I'm actually not far from beating the game. I've got over 200 hours in the game right now. Learned quite a bit. Been contemplating you know, some of the challenge runs. I think I've got some pretty decent viewpoints on how to do those, and, you know, make it kind of easy and not so difficult that others have kind of displayed. Well, I'll just throw those into having troubles. I have also debated, what was I looking at? Ooh, I put those in the wrong bin. This is where you go. And then the gold goes over here. Yeah, I was starting to make quite a bit of money. You know, this was filling up quite a bit, so I was like, oh, you know, I'll just add a couple extra ones with the cute little belt going across. As I've, you know, described to one of my, you know, shall I say, favorite YouTubers that I watch, you know, all the outcome from the, uh-oh, what's going on here? Is it full? Shouldn't be full. It's just taking a minute to get there. Yeah, I'll help. His input belt for his first box, his first bank, should be a box with the bank going to 1 gold. Set it to, you know, 1 gold, have it go 1 gold, that way it, you know, eats up a lot of this quickly. someone really paid attention to that for a while. But alright, so I have purchased just about most, not all, but all of these on the side and all those on the first back side, right? Built over. Haven't really used the space yet, being completely honest. I don't even really use this that much. Use portals and such, but here's the back side, right? Everything over here is also empty. And like I said, I don't really use the side sections very much. I've been building up before I started expanding, which has caused its own issues, believe me or not. But I've got everything coming down on this first level. I enjoyed the thought. I saw this from one of my favorite YouTubers. Gosh, you know, pronunciations. But Nollis. Let me see.
I can turn your wildest ideas into a song. Just describe it in a...
Nihilus. Him along with, actually, it might just be him, got me into Factorio, along with one of my coworkers talking to me about it. Played Factorio for a while, really enjoyed that. But, he had built something similar to this, using like, you know, the center post to help travel and everything. I haven't actually put up any walls, which I probably screwed myself with some of these placements. But my, you know, initial idea was, after I got situated, oh, wrong thing, here we go, I'd be able to like place walls, you know, blocking all the cannons and stuff so you couldn't see them. And, but like I said, I think I screwed myself here. Yeah, looks like I might have, oh, well, there's a potential, but yeah, you know, set up walls so you can't even see the cannons and everything's just filling. Exploiting one of the current game mechanics to where as long as you have the cannons set up prior to any type of walls or anything, the cannons still operate. But yeah, this is everything on the first floor. Like I said, you know, just, oh, looks like I drop those in there. Delete all this. I'm pretty high up in level now. So let's go ahead and reset. Let's go down. I will say this is my first actual playthrough. I've been kind of taking my time a bit, trying to enjoy the game, play it, build out, and everything. And I have thoroughly enjoyed the game. As I said, I'm, you know, 200 hours in, 200 plus. Outside of beating the game, you know. As you saw, I mean, I still have a few things I can build. Alright, no. Let's see. 3. Oh, that's right, I need to get my cannon fire rate back up too. It's 4. Yep, cannon fire rate 240. So it matches belt speed. Somebody else wound up having, you know, was curious in regards to, you know, how fast the cannons fire. Sheikah, But yeah, cannon rate can be found simply in your tab menu with your upgrades. Right there, catapult. Catapults are always half of what a cannon can fire, which is probably going to be, you know, depending on how you upgrade, half of what your bell speed is normally going to be, right? Let's see, extractor and alembic. Shop profits can go up 3. Fuel and fertilizer can go up 3. Quest can go up 1, and relic 3. Trying to just balance it out. What did I just say? Gosh. Sales, I think, was 1. Let's see how much I remembered. Shop profit, okay. Quest rewards, ugh. Oh well, I could put 4 more in there. Shop profits, 3. I think everything else is exactly where I want it to be. Just to balance out. We'll do that 60 more coins, right? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alembic was the other one. That's what I was thinking. Alright, but Alembic is balanced. 250, 22. Uh-oh. Yeah, that's okay. 5 in relic. I haven't messed with contract amount because I got it. 5, 10, 15, 25. What is quest reward upgrading at? That's why. What were we at? It's about 1, 2, 3. Okay. I know it's a bit of back and forth. Sorry, guys. One more. Okay, and then we're talking 1, 2, 5. And then we could just put 10 in. Oh, 5 in these 2. And then 10 in those 2. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. Alright, and then I really don't want to reset again, so hoping I'm nailing this. Buttes. The only reason I'm upgrading my relic, I'll show you in a second. I have my extras going straight into knowledge altars. Because, I mean, you know, why not? 15 more points. Yeah, we'll just leave those. I don't know what to do with them yet. I think I might put them into production and belt speed and all that other good stuff, but not sure. But yeah, like I was saying, I have, so here's, let's see, what is this? The Venus? Right, so I have a, right, priority splitter? Let me not be incorrect. Yeah, the priority splitter. So obviously, you know, primary is to fill the stands in the treasure chest. The extras I have set to catapults, which pump them into their own knowledge altars, right? Boom, boom. Oh, here's my Mars. This was something I set up. I don't remember what it was for. I think it was initial for the Mercury's, right? Let's see. Here's the Venus and Saturn. I have the. It looks kind of crazy. I know. I'm sorry. Here's one of my dispatches. I just have my dispatches set up to cannons, which fire back into the input box. Here's my Venus. Oh, Mercury over here. and stables. Powder and all that good stuff. Here's my shroomage. 1600. Glass. Yeah, I think that's all of them, right? 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I think that's it. Alright, so up top, right? Here's my original first floor, right? Saturn's builds. My goal was at what was my current, rate was have as many relic builds as I can to get to like one per minute. Which in my head was like, oh, then I'd be delivering one per minute. That was a mistaken on my part. Alright? Doesn't work like that. I'm sure you're aware, but it took my brain a minute. Alright, here's one of my original copper and bronze builds. I will say that I still have yet to use cauldron builds for my copper and bronze, but I do like the view. Just haven't seen a real need to do it since I've already got everything built. This fancy setup, right? The 7 pipes coming down and all that other good stuff. I took from another one of my favorite YouTubers, Tim Plays Games. Been really loving his videos. He's really into Mind Mogul right now. I was eating up his Alchemy Factory, and I just loved this idea, right? They all come down on each floor. Not so much on the bottom floor. Did I skip a floor? How did I skip a floor? Oh, I didn't skip a floor. Okay. Yeah, so they all come down. I don't think this floor is using a lot of them, which means I could probably just cut them. But whatevs, right? But they come down in the flasks, so you know what fluid is on what pipe. And I belt them. So Saturn, along with a lot of my original builds, I obviously condensed them. I haven't condensed all of them, obviously, right? But, so, come up here, and this monstrosity right in my face is the pocket watches, right? Currently 20 minutes, so we're making 80 a minute to try and fulfill that, not just the shelf, but the dispatch, right? Small little salt build, love it, so cute. Back here is the monstrosity that it is, the Mars. Alright, second Mars is in the back. I wound up unintentionally realizing how beneficial at least a double build is, which it probably isn't, but I'm thinking it is. I haven't gotten there, but cough cough souls. But, Jupiter's, Mars, fun little transportation. I actually got the idea of that middle floor from not just Nihilus, but Darren Plays Games when he played Satisfactory. Talking about logistics floors and whatnot. I loved it, right? Love these pillars. But yeah, like I was saying, I haven't really used a lot of the space yet. I got all this back here. I can move all of this and make it not so crowded. I may or may not in the future, or I'll just leave it. It's already done. Up here is one of when I started to get into the more intense Fertile Catalyst. Now Panacea, you'll see Panacea in a minute. Right, blast potions and stuff. Played around a lot, condensing my Fertile Catalyst build. This right here is about the most condensed I can get it right now. Always open to hold on 1 second. Always open to any type of input. Alright, a lot of my gems. This is when I actually first started playing around with First started playing around. Sorry, I was just checking something. Like I said, first time streaming. Seems like it's not up to speed, or maybe it's just playing catch up. I don't know. We'll find out. I'll find out later. This is when I first started playing around cauldron builds. So like Malachite, Unstable, Fertile Catalyst, Blast, Perfume. That's not a cauldron, it's just something in the bag. Topaz, Obsidian. Obsidian, I loved how small I was able to make this when I saw what it was. Same thing with Lapis Lazuli. Right? A lot of my... This is getting into the ingredients. One from an incoming belt from up top, and one from right here. It's my silver amulets, just smelting. I've got plenty. And then this baby right here is making the resonant catalyst. Alright. Ugh, so much fun. So much fun. Get rid of that. Here's my Venus build, right? I've got 6, I think, in total. This is one of the slower ones, 0.2. Ridiculous. And I'm at level 10. I'm at level 10 with this stuff. Yeah. Was trying to, like I was saying, was trying to hit that that 1 per minute. My slow self, right? Can update this. I haven't updated a lot of my signs. But, you know, got plenty of Venuses. Plenty of Venuses. Top. Not up top yet. This is my Panacea. Panacea level. Oh, yeah. I currently have, I think, 9 builds on this floor, right? No, more. I've got 40. Each one is 40, sorry. So I've got 80 going up. I'll show that in a second. And then I've got 6 filling this floor and another, in the top floor actually, sorry. And then I have these 3 right here, filling my little field right here. Which is 10, 20, 30, I think 45-ish trees right here. Yeah, I think it's 45. Because I came across a awesome set of recipes because of Corton. I believe that's his name. For rubies, you just do stone, wood, and world tree cores, and you get a ruby. But obviously each one takes 10. This is a 3 set, because after this I have sapphires. After sapphires I have emeralds, and just as a little peek, right? Boop, right? Cool, right? We see that they're all flooded. But basically, you know, so each cauldron, the lowest amount for rubies was 10 trees, because, you know, they're awesome. They only pump out 0.8 per minute. So I had to do 30 trees for the ruby. For the sapphires, right? It's kind of like this sapphire row right here. I believe it's 8. Let me check my notes. Yeah, for the sapphire, it's 8 trees, so there's 16 trees right here, because there's 2. 1 for the floor, and then 2 for sapphires, right? 2 sapphires, 1 for the floor, 1 for emeralds. And then, at the time, it was just 1 for the floor, right? But then I decided to, you know, take a peek, right? Does the same work for Philosopher's Stones? It does. It does absolutely 100% work. So yeah, you know, if I wanted to, right, 0.4, I think that leads to like, I don't know, 6-ish, right? Probably 6-ish trees. If I wanted to, I could throw in a row for, you know, 6 trees, or I'm sure I've got something going on somewhere. I think I've got my upstairs that I've got some trees in. I could probably just use those world cores. But I know that you don't really need these automated. I probably will, though, honestly. Alright, all this junk over here is me playing around because fairy dust, fairy tears, moon tears, right? This 480, this is just insane. It's insane. As I've been playing this, I've been realizing there are some recipes that just don't necessarily make sense. Right? For one, I think it's about like 2 or 3 drops. Is it down here? I think this is it. Is this it? Bandages, right? Bandages. This is the one that doesn't necessarily make sense to me, right? Bandages. To make bandages, you need 24 linen and 48 health potions, healing potions, right? You know, so we, okay, here we go. We pump up here, right? Linens. Oh my gosh. Linens pump out at 48. So one linen producing machine could potentially produce enough for 2 bandage machines, right? That's kind of overkill. You could probably drop the linen producer down to like 24 or something like that, right? That wouldn't be crazy. Have one machine fill one machine, but then we come up here and we go to the help healing potions, right? As I said, 48, right? Think, oh, that's gonna be 48. No, for the healing potions, it comes slightly under. So really, to have bandages produced at 100%, you would need 2 healing potion assemblers for 1 bandage producer, meaning you would have like 36 extra healing potions per minute. The math isn't mathing on that one. I'm sure there's probably a wrong decimal or something somewhere. I don't know. Or maybe nobody said anything about it since. Who knows? I don't know. Not, meh. Oh yeah, that's right. This was my very first mercury machine. I plan on making probably 1 or 2 more just because obviously I don't think I need to. I think I'm backed up already. But, you know, my gem setups, nice and small, nice and cute. Panacea because lapis lazuli needs it. Oh, looks like I knew that was going to fall behind. I knew eventually this was going to fall behind because this is 9.9. This is 4, which comes to, if I remember correctly, it's like 39.6, and it needs 40. But if I were to do another one of these, I would have needed to build another one of these and all this other stuff, and I was like, you know what? That's fine. It is what it is. It's just, ugh. It's just gonna be lacking a little bit. And before, you know, everybody should know by now about the thermal extractor height multiplication, right? So just like tons and tons of other ones, I went ahead and put my a lot of my liquids, all my liquids, on my top floor. All right, you can see, oh, look at that, look at the beauty. So here's my upper floor, right? Can't even see all of it yet, right? Got into Panacea. I was playing around with Panacea, trying to replace a lot of my stuff, right? So I got 2 Panaceas up here right now. 80 a minute, meaning 40 per line, because I split mine. Not here, down here. I split mine top and bottom. I do my lines a bit different than a lot. I put, it was fuel on the bottom line, money on the second, and fertilizer on the top. And I'll show you why in a little bit, right? So, obviously, oh, that's right. Is that the third one? It is. So, sorry, 120. 120 on this floor, so 60 per line. Linseed, fruit wine, lime water, brine, my lavender, this bad boy right here, because I've been falling in, you know, trying to rack up that panacea. Got my brandy all the way over here. A little sulfuric acid going on, right? Not much. Honestly, sulfuric acid, the way that I'm building, it's only really needed for quicksilver. This is my little quicksilver build, only 4 of them. And then aquavite, or vitae, however it wants to be pronounced. Right, what's this? Oh, doesn't seem like anything. I've noticed there's like here and there moments when stuff just kind of pops up on floors, belts, pipes, and also the randomness. But yeah, I do my best to try and keep my pipes out of my face. It's a lot of fun, I swear to gosh. All the struggle and pain and torment that everybody goes through, I went through it too. The best way I found is to either get on top of the pipes, that helps with building, or just try and get level with them. But again, Tim plays games, gave me this lovely idea. I'm sure he's not the only one. He's the only one I've seen. I love this. You see that little vine right there? That tricked me for the longest time. I thought I was always running out of brandy. I wasn't. It just tricked me. This is the only one that does the actual, you see it? Boom. Boom. That's the only one that slightly dips. It's the only one that slightly dips. I could easily just up that. But yeah, that's my build. I kept these here because I was trying to separate myself. Separate this up here, like, oh, you know, maybe I'll do something over here. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. I don't know. But this is my monstrosity, right? All my coin lines, I goes, you know, they come up to each floor. They pump out. Right now I've got them at 25 each. Seems to be just fine. Not burning through anything crazy. Honestly, with the amount of gold that I'm accumulating, I could probably bump it up. But I do still have some pretty significant builds to do. Right, being the you know, the crowns, I'm curious about that one. Being as it requires, you know, rubies and sapphires, some more world trees, right? Eternal catalysts, right? Because I'm on the fence if not, you know, if I'm gonna have these going on, you know, automation. I don't see where it would hurt. But, you know, I mean, once I beat it, once I build it, kind of be neither here nor there in regards to if I want to keep playing this level, this one. Probably might bounce into one of the challenges. I don't know. That'll be up to, well, yeah, if I want to, or if any of y'all want to see that from me. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of my little exploration. Not exploration, what am I saying? I don't know. Walkthrough. Go with that one. But these are my next 3 targets right here. So I can get some moonlit silk going. Some lunas. Right, this one seems fun, but I think honestly that one's not going to be too bad. You know, just making bars. I've got plenty of silver. Pretty sure I'll have plenty of gold. If not, I can play around with some of those gold cauldron builds. Might be fun. You know, but setting up these crowns, this might be interesting. This one, I realize, is probably not gonna actually be that difficult because I've already got multiple builds of most of my relics. You know, and my diamond build that's down a couple layers, right here. Nope, one more. Maybe it's one more. Yeah, I think it's one more. Yeah. Right, this small thing right here produces plenty diamonds. And if I remember correctly, not ZV, you know, perfect diamonds are just the next step. So just throwing one more to these bad boys. This one produces plenty. I don't know the multiplication. This is 160 a minute, which is what this does. These do, right? And at 80. You know. It probably wouldn't be too crazy. Might take a little bit to speed up or get up, but you know, looking at that bad boy, perfect diamonds. Those eternal catalysts might be a little tricky, but the world tree cores, you know, I mean, obviously it's basically 2 trees per 1.0, you know, per 1 per minute. So it might be a couple trees. One thing, well, I'm sure there's gonna be plenty of things. Right, I've played around with the steel build. Ugh, it is disgusting. It is gross. This is one of them, I think, like my second or third version. My final version that I'm on right now is this bad boy right here, right? This. It's all basically built onto a blast furnace. I want to make it better. I do. There seems to be some type of issue where even though the whole thing is getting 240 coke powder, somehow everything is not maxed. Yeah. And those of you that are just starting out or having any issues with the athanors and, you know, the recycling of the iron ingots and everything, priority mergers. Priority merger, priority merger, priority merger. Promise. It'll make so much sense once you do it. Honestly. Right? Like, look. Alright, just throw one of these bad boys down. Athanor. Alright, we set this to steel. 60 a minute. You need 60 a minute. Okay? But it kicks out 45 a minute at a 75% chance. So you can even, under this, right, say this kicks out 30 a minute, right? That's still half. These kick out 40. Sorry, this is at 10, but the same numbers will apply, right? Whatever this is, it'll be 15 less out of this, right? Because it'll be 75% of what it needs. So meaning you only need 15% from here. So even at this stance, I only need 15 per minute, which means, right, technically, one iron smelter could fulfill the needs of 2 athanors. If you do priority mergers. And what that looks like is, right, we're going to Bluetooth this big boy. I say Bluetooth, BT, you know, blueprint transition. The yellow is where the steel is going to be coming out of. Okay. The blue is where the iron is going to be coming out of. So if we wanted to, recycle priority merger, recycle the iron out of this bad boy, right? That's what we would do. Or let me cut that boy, right? What a lot of people, what I initially saw was a lot of people doing this, right? And I did that for a while, and then I realized the issue. I was trying to dump extra iron, you know, because once this gets filled and this gets filled, then it stops working because there's nowhere for the iron to go. I saw somebody's video, and I was like, what they were doing made so much sense, because if you do it this way, right, we're just gonna imagine that there is we have an a smelter pumping iron in from whichever direction. From the iron smelter, it's gonna come in through the top, right, and then it's gonna feed in. But if there's iron coming out, that is gonna get the priority. So whenever the ethanol is pumping out iron, it is going to pump it out right back into itself as fast as it's going to do it. And if it needs more iron to operate, it's going to have the iron smelter to supplement that. And what that is going to do is, if this is already full and the line's full and it's backed up to the iron smelter is not going to smelt any more iron. So it's going to take less materials, less requirements. It's going to save money. But this is always going to stay full on the iron requirement. It's beautiful. I love it. Oh man, I do. I just love it. As you can tell, I need to work on my steel setup more. But yeah, I mean, this is my build. I played around a bit. I've readjusted things. I really like when I was building my floors, I left these two empty. And what I tried to do is put all my fuel and fertilizer and everything in the beginning, this section of my floors, and then everything else would just be built from there. I like going right to left. I don't know why. Probably my military. I am active duty. But yeah, all of my floors are fueled here and then filtered right to left. I like this concept of the roundabout. So anything that's not used just gets put right back into the line to get used, whether it does or not. But yeah, I've enjoyed using cannons. I like these lines. I have seen a couple people, I think it was Corton, basically he does the same thing, but then he filters it up onto itself to go up to the next floor. I like that. I also like dedicated lines. Goodness, see? Some of these floors haven't even really used any. 25, 5. This is way back when I was doing 5s. Goodness. But yeah. At least for my first run, I think I still got plenty of properties I need to go build. You know what? How about that? How about everybody likes achievements? I don't think I've bought everything. Let's take I don't know, 2 stacks of gold. I don't know how expensive this stuff is. And let's just go buy everything, I do have other games that I've been contemplating playing. Played several other games. A couple of my favorites. Cash Cleaner. I really enjoyed playing that one. Or did I actually already beat? Did I? I don't think I did. Maybe I did. I don't know. Oh, you know what? I know where. But Cash Cleaner, Cash Cleaner. Here it is. The Oh, there it went. I have bought all the lands. Just like everybody else is confused, I have no idea what the purpose of that one is back there. It's really weird. Super weird. Yeah. I have no idea what to do with all this extra space. But yeah, this is my shop. I've had plenty of fun doing it. This bad boy right here was one of the funnest, setting those bad boys up. Had so many issues with the automation setup for those. Trying to get the World True cores up to speed and all that other good stuff. I do wish I could think of a better setup. I'm not sure if I could. but I kind of like the way that it is, you know, for whenever I do decide to do my orders. I've got everything ready to go, ready to pick from. All my extras I just pop right there by the door to try and save on wasting supplies. You know, the only other, like I said, I got a couple favorites, favorite YouTubers. Sheikah can't seem to keep his inventory empty, but I love his videos, they're great. I've taken a lot of ideas from Sheikah, Monkey Nuts, Tim, Nihilus. Oh, oh, one of the reasons why I put my belts the way that I do is because um, while watching everybody play, you know, they have to always plug in their belts, right? But I noticed that you never have to do that with conveyors or lifts rather, right? The moment you place a lift, no matter where you place it, that input is auto connecting. Auto connecting. Boom. There's fuel. Right? So I took that into mind. So all of my blueprints will go with something from the beginning. I don't have that many, and I need to get better at it. But all of my blueprints are set up with that in mind. So all of my input lines do exactly that, right? Fuel pulls from the bottom, coins pull from the middle, and fertilizer pulls from the top. So no matter where my blueprints go, or where I place them, I just need to, as long as I keep that in mind when I build my blueprints, they always auto connect and I don't have to worry about belting anything or doing any of that fancy stuff. But yeah, no. If you do wind up tuning in and staying for the entire video, I appreciate it. You know, like, I may, you know, I'm gonna try and do this more often. Other games, eventually maybe, you know, give you guys a reason to subscribe. But I'm always open to suggestions, thoughts, you know, whatever it may or may not be. Otherwise, you know, enjoy yourself. Thank you and have a lovely evening.